welcome to another episode of the playonultra podcast. This episode 112.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole gang is back. We took a break last week.
Yeah.
But
sorry
everyone's
about that.
back. Sarah and Fo is back.
We're here. And we're cool.
So, yeah. How you guys? Fo went to Gen Con.
Yeah.
What kind of crazy shit did you see there?
Yeah, tell us about that.
So, it's a board game convention, purely board games. It does something unlike other conventions and venues. So other conventions I go to, like PAX or DEF CON, a big percentage of your time is spent waiting in line. And then once that line's done, the thing you're doing is sitting there listening to people. At Gen Con, there's no lines, and the thing you're doing is playing board games all the time. So there's like 10 hours of board games every day for 4 days. I was really tired. But it was really
Did
cool.
you get sick of it eventually?
No, there's always new board games.
There's
There's
always
also
new board
always
games.
board games that are very similar to other board games, just like in video games. But there are also still new
Yeah.
board games. And there are games that aren't like board games per se. Like we played a mega game, which is a 40-person game where
Holy
it's
fuck.
more like what's it called? Like mock UN. So like each person's given so you're all dealt out random cards. So, like some people are Russia, some people are America, some are China, some are England, and then within that you're dealt out a person. So I ended up being like the Borishev family in Russia, and then like you all vote on a leader, and then your character has wants. Like my character has this political stance, and he wants these things to happen. And then you just kind of role play it out this is during the Cold War era. It was very, very fun to role play, but it suffered from two things. One, not knowing like what you could do. Like, because basically the way things happened is like I was the head of the Western military, so I could be like, move troops to the German border, and I'd get sign off from like the head of the Russian people, and I'd give it to the game guy who's managing the military things, and that would happen. But I didn't know what that meant. Like I didn't know what the impact was.
So there was no
like,
feedback?
There was very little feedback, and there was very little like
Reason to do things?
incentive, kind of. Yeah. Like you had your character reason. Like my character, he wanted to. He didn't want conflict with the West, with capitalist pigs. He wanted to just like keep Russia secure and prove that communism was superior by Russia itself succeeding, not through conflict. But like I didn't know how to do that because I'd be given orders. I'd be like, hey, you should move troops into China, and I'd be like, okay, I'll move troops near China. And then I tell to the game master guy, like, hey, can I also use these troops to like suppress rebellion so that Russia doesn't have rebellions? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know, my character just wants that sort of thing. Like, you make it happen. Like, there was nothing to do about that. But at the end of the day, I feel like I won the game because I ended up as the General Secretary of Russia. With a military coup in the last half hour of the game, I became the leader. Which isn't really the goal, but it was fun.
Hilarious. Were there just,
That kind of game sounds like you need to at least have some sort of like knowledge about history or something.
Absolutely. Yeah. There was a lot of things that I didn't know that would
be
help
fun
a lot.
if you don't have it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was also hard. I mean, one disadvantage is you know a lot of history, you have to remember which things you don't remember. Because like this is before the Berlin Wall. So you gotta remember, like, oh, the Berlin Wall didn't happen. You gotta remember which things happened, which things didn't happen. But I just didn't know anything. Like, do we have televisions? I'm joking, but like something really obvious.
Need to live in the period, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
40 men, how the fuck?
Sounds like mafia.
It was in like a conference room, and you have like people go outside and like have secret meetings and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was very busy.
Sounds like a less structured mafia.
Can you only have like secret meetings during your turn or something?
It's all real time. Everything's happening all at once.
Oh. It's interesting.
It was very chaotic.
So you gotta scramble, basically. Gotta scramble for deals and stuff.
And so, because they had like projectors on the wall, which are the news feeds. So let's see if you hear something happen, like, oh, America just moved nukes to Japan. Holy shit, we gotta scramble on that. That kind of thing.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Sounds interesting, actually.
Yeah.
It was interesting. And they do a bunch for all different eras.
Yeah. It just sounds very chaotic.
Yeah.
It was. I would have liked a little more
Structure.
or at least knowledge about what to do. And certain people were super intense. It's like really intense. It's like, so the reason I military couped at all to take over Russia was because my predecessor had he's like, there's only half an hour left in the game, let's invade Switzerland or whatever. I'm like, you can't just do that. So I held a military coup. And so immediately the first thing that happens after the dust settles and I emerge the victor, America comes over, and it's this guy dressed full Captain America cosplay. And so he's wearing boots. I have to look up into him because he's tall, and he's just he's holding this piece of paper in his hand because it's one of the papers you give orders on, the move troop papers. He's holding a piece of paper and it says nuclear war on Russia. And he's look at this paper. Every other country has signed this paper except for me. And I just want you to know how close we came to nuclear war. I'm just and he didn't break eye contact the whole time. I'm just okay. I'm sure the history books will look kindly on your wisdom, some bullshit like that. Just
that's a hilarious moment, actually. That's a really funny moment, though. I'm just you better. I just can imagine full Captain America being I did the right thing. Also, just in general, wow, that's kind of crazy that everybody was let's do nuclear war in Russia because why not?
Yeah, screw those guys. Even England.
All right.
It's just lucky that he was president. I can't remember who he was. He was somebody who didn't actually get presidency in real life, but he won the election anyway. But his character was super against nuclear proliferation. So if it had been anybody else, he probably would have signed it.
Probably said yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, okay.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
I think the most memorable moment from the weekend, we played this game that I actually didn't really like. So the nature of the game was, it's a 12-person game, and you're all stranded on an island. And so each turn you can harvest wood to build a raft to escape, harvest water, or harvest food or something like that. And every round, you also eat food and eat water. And the game is designed such that with 12 people, you cannot sustain that, and you cannot escape the island in time before the game ends. So you have to just vote to move people off the island. And certain people I have the axe. If you kill me, the axe goes away with me, because that's whatever the rules of the game is. So the game wasn't super fun, but there was this really great moment where the way you harvested things, if you're harvesting wood, you say, I go into the forest and I'm going to cut down, and you name 1 to 4 trees. And so they have this bag, and you reach into the bag and you pull out one of these wooden spheres. And if you pull out the black sphere, which is there's 1 black sphere and I think 5 wood regular spheres. If you pull out the black sphere, it means you got bit by a snake. So the more you pull, the greater the odds are you're going to get bit by a snake. And the guy across from me, he's always 3 wood. And he would do it every single time. And so by the 3rd time he's doing it, everybody in the game and people walking by are just 3 wood, 3 wood, 3 wood. He's just yeah, I'm the 3 wood man. And the guy next to him is I'm going to do it. 3 wood. And he just gets bit, in the first ball. I'm just God dang it. He's I can't do this.
You're not the 3 wood man.
You're not 3 wood. This is a barbarian.
3 wood ain't your thing. Ain't your thing.
Too funny.
And I didn't play this game, but there's a Legend of the 5 Rings at a tournament, and that was great.
Yeah.
They have people in full cosplay holding these big banners for each of the houses.
My
and they have these big drums dun, 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 and they're parading through the convention to the tournament area.
That's so crazy. I'm a huge L5R fan, so I'm oh my gosh, really? Well, the tabletop, the card game is whatever.
The card game's supposed to be one of the more complex mainstream card games. I've never played it, but it looks cool.
It's pretty well. The main problem with the card game is there's now 3 different versions, and now it got bought up by Fantasy Flight, so we don't know what it's gonna look like. Because the problem is that the card games, it's not as neatly designed to make new iterations like Magic is, and so you kind of had to buy a deck, and that was it. You really didn't want to try to build a deck with booster packs.
Netrunner?
I don't know Netrunner too well, but I can't really say. But so it is much more complex. It's interesting. If you're into those kinds of things, I would hesitate to call it a true collector's card game because you could collect cards, but there's 2 different kinds of systems now. And there's going to be a 3rd one once Fantasy Flight figures out what they're doing. And 2, just because it's pretty complicated, but the cool thing about L5R, but also kind of the weird thing about L5R is how the tournaments were set up was actually, it was a living story, so it was supposed to be that whoever won the tournaments got to influence a historical moment. Now they really shot themselves in the foot when several years ago they had the big tournament of the Emperor's dead, who's the new emperor, but then you can't really do anything bigger than that, and so they kept making...
Goddess.
Yeah, they like kept redoing, being like, "Oh, we need another emperor, guys," and I was like, "Okay, this is getting kind of stupid now." But you know, there were other interesting events. So like, because I'm a huge fan of the tabletop, and so the history is all recorded from back when, you know,
right.
They would do the card game for that, so it's interesting. I kind of grew up with it, and so I love the world and stuff like that. But yeah, the card game's very interesting if you look into it. But be careful. I would not.
I'm not going.
Don't think of it as a collector's card game. Think of it as, oh, this is a different kind of card game. If someone offers you to play, try it out. Don't buy it. Beautiful art though.
Starfinder also came out, which is cool. It's like Pathfinder, but in space.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So that sold out real quick. So I might start playing that next week, or in 2 weeks. Get a group together to play that.
Nah,
so that could be interesting. I don't know.
Is it the Pathfinder system?
Yes, it's theoretically compatible.
Okay.
But I haven't really looked into how it's compatible, because I don't know what's going to be like having person with bow and arrow going up against, you know, future steel robot armor.
It's just weird, because I know Pathfinder's technically different, but I always think of it as D&D, because it was basically...
It's basically a D&D 3.5.
Yeah, 3.75 or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 3.5 plus polish.
Exactly. So, I never got into it, because I didn't play it that much, so I was never like, oh my gosh, it's amazing, because a lot of people...
I haven't played Pathfinder either. I've played D&D, but not Pathfinder.
Yeah, I couldn't really... The only key differences I remember are just on certain stats things, but I know there are more differences, but, like, the world building to me was the same, so I don't know. I'm not the person to ask.
Yeah. Yep. And I agree. And then my last thought on Gen Con is my favorite game I think that I played. I don't think it's a new game to the con. We just found it in the library. It's called Between Two Cities. Have either of you ever played Seven Wonders?
Nope.
No.
Okay. So it's a drafting game where, you know, you pull out these like square tiles and you look at them and you take a couple and you pass them to your left and you get that and you build it. The point of the game is between each player is a city. So you will draft cards, and then you and your neighbor will like say, I want to place this tile here. And so you're building a 4x4 city. And then your end game score is the lowest score between your two cities. So all players are trying to make both of their cities as best as they possibly can. So there's an interesting mix of like cooperative, competitive at the same time. And I found it really, really cool.
That is interesting. So you have two like halves of a city you have to manage?
They're just completely separate cities. It's just two different cities that are 4x4 grids.
Yeah, so you do take control of two different cities. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then the tiles have different like point values, like you know, like a garden or a park tile gets more points the more there are touching in a snake. House tiles are worth points, but they're worth less points if they're next to a factory. That kind of stuff. So it is a little bit of synergy and cooperation.
It's like playing euchre.
I don't know euchre.
Dang it! I'm showing my Michigander. It's a kind of a cooperative. Anyway, card game. If you're a Michigander out there, like, comment, subscribe. Anyway.
The one bad thing about Gen Con is I don't think Indianapolis is, I don't know, big enough to support it. Like, so it does so PAX, one of the bad things about PAX is you'll say like, oh, this thing is going on in this place. This place just turns out to be like a random building at a different address. Like, I gotta walk 3 blocks to get there. In Indianapolis, everything's connected with tunnels, like skywalks or underground tunnels, so it's kind of easier. It's not completely easier, but it makes more sense, I guess, in my head. But there aren't really that many nearby hotels. Like, so I was only a 17-minute Uber drive away, but I know people who are like 44 minute Uber drives away, which is super far. So I wouldn't really want to cosplay if I can't just like walk back to my hotel at any time.
Yeah. It sucks. I can tell you from experience.
And I'm sure like Uber is like, whenever there's a con, I'm sure Uber is
surge priced for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Every Uber driver we got into is just like, man, I love Gen Con. I'm making more than my regular job right now. I got called in sick to work this or whatever. It's like,
jeez. I bet.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's where I was last week.
Cool.
The week before that, I wasn't here because I was in Seattle for a wedding, but I went to the Mopop, which is the Museum of Pop Art, which was pretty cool because they had an exhibit just for Jim Henson and an exhibit just for David Bowie. So that was pretty cool.
Nice.
That's cool. Sarah, what did you do?
What did you do?
I mostly finished games that I've talked to death about. So I finished Cinderella Phenomenon. If you're looking for a free, decent Otome game, I highly recommend it.
With or without
The incest. That route's really cute. It's technically incest. Okay, listen. It was really anyway. But no, if anyone is playing out there, if you're really interested in it, the writers, the creators, have a suggested route order you play in, and after having played that route order, I highly recommend it. It's very much the game really is intended to be played in that order. The first two you could probably switch. But definitely the last three you want to do in that order they tell you. Because truly the last route that they suggest you play, like, this kind of like the true route in some ways, it reveals things that are meant to be like spoilers in other routes.
Right.
So I would not, you can't play it first anyway. You actually, how they split it up is there's 5 guys, and 2 of them are locked until you've played, at least 2 of the first 3, which is good. But still, even with that restriction, I highly recommend you play in the order they suggest. You're otherwise going to be very frustrated with the pacing of the other routes. So, but other than that, they did a good job. I don't think they're going to make a sequel. It's kind of very much a standalone, but the world they created was kind of cool. There's just a couple of unanswered questions by the last route, but it's kind of what I expect from a free Otome game. So it's hard to find good, like, free Otome visual novels, so it's good there. It's all sappy and feelings and romance and kind of stuff. I'm almost done with Fire Emblem Echoes. I didn't think I was going to be almost done, but the ending kind of snuck up on me. I assume it's the ending. I'm actually not completely positive, but it seems like I'm in the final battle. Basically, I was playing it all the way through, and the final battle, I was like, this looks too hard, I'm going to bed, and I just haven't picked it up. But yeah, they haven't said it's mysterious incest yet, but it's still just kind of like soulmatey with ancestors that were brother-sister, so that's what I'm assuming, but they haven't outright said it yet, but, you know, I'll get you the update once I finish the game, I guess, of what the final verdict is, but,
okay.
No, but yeah, so hold your hats, folks, I don't have an update on that yet. But otherwise, it's good. The ending, if this is the ending, really sneaks up on you without warning, which is a little disappointing because, basically, there's a point that happens, sorry to get in spoiler territory, but there's a point that happens where, you have the 2 armies, and one army, you go, and it's technically the end point. I just didn't realize how much of an end point it was, because then you can't control that army anymore, which kind of sucked, because I had side quests I didn't finish, and I didn't know it was the end, and so I was like, oh, I lost that army, okay. And then you have to play the other army for some time, and then that, they do warn you when, like, you're going to a point of no return, but they didn't warn you with the other army, so that was kind of annoying. But then I got to the point of no return, and now I'm in the last battle, and basically both armies have to work together and stuff like that. The only reason it sucks is because, again, kind of spoilers. So, as I've mentioned before, this game has dungeon areas, and so, obviously, I would use characters I need to level up to go with me to go through that dungeon crawling, right? And the army that you suddenly lose, before you have to play the other army for some time, it was a big dungeon, so I took some people that needed leveling up. Well, the final battle, you get control of them again, so it's like both of your armies you get control of, but I don't have my best people, because they were just people I'm leveling up, so I'm kinda screwed for the final battle, because my one army is half of it are people that aren't as high level because I was leveling them up, so I don't have, like, my best army. So I was like, oh, that's great. This battle's gonna suck. So, but make it work. And so that's kind of the other problem, too, is, like, even if I lose at this battle, it's a point of no return. I can't, like, level up those people or change out people. I'm kind of screwed with them. So it's like, oh, jeez. So, you do what you can, and that's all you can do. So, hopefully I'll still be able to win. I think I will. It's not super hard, but you just have to be very careful. But yeah, otherwise, if this is the end, it's a good game. It's just the ending kind of went, surprise. But yeah, so I recommend it it's not, if you've only played Awakening and not any other Fire Emblem game, beware. It is nothing like Awakening, which is not a bad thing. I love Awakening, but, like, if that is your introduction to Fire Emblem and what you expect from a Fire Emblem game, this is not that. It's still a good game, just be careful. It is a little harder. It's not the same kind of stuff, so. But yeah, it's great. And the only last thing, I know I've been raving about it. But the last thing I want to mention about it that I really, really like is they do a really good job with characterization, despite the fact they have so many characters. Even though, like, you don't get super big details on every character, especially since you can choose to not recruit certain characters, and certain characters can die if you choose to do classic mode. But even despite that, they have little moments where you kind of get to still, like, talk to those characters and get to learn a little bit of their backstory. Just little stuff. And they show, like, you can have conversations between... they don't do anything, like, in battle, like Awakening does, but you can still have characters that kind of talk about their lives, which is really cool. And the other really cool thing, but super depressing thing, is you can pick up these items called memory prisms, and all it is you go to an area and you open them, and they're just visual novel sections of things that happen before the game. So, for instance, there is a married couple that you meet in the game, and something very tragic happens to happen to this married couple, and you get the memory prism, and you see how they met, and then you bawl your eyes out because you know they'll never be happy again. But, you know, so they show things like that, and which is really cool. With a game that has a huge cast, I would say it's one of the better games on actually, like, making me care about every single character and kind of actually understanding them a bit better. Even though, of course, they're two-dimensional, but, like, they're still pretty cool, so. But yeah, that's all I really did.
I watched a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff came out that I watched a lot of.
Oh.
There's a lot of stuff I need to watch.
I watched all of the new season of Wet Hot American Summer.
Defenders is
I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes of Defenders. And
what's the verdict?
It's good so far. So every time Danny Rand's on screen, I just tune away. I look away. Like, okay, what is this stupid? But everything else is great. And so far, they're only 3 episodes in. Every time 2 heroes are on the screen together, it's friggin' awesome. So far.
Okay.
I haven't been super excited for this compared to like the previous like standalone ones.
So the bad guy
really is because of Danny Rand. Seriously, it's because of
he's horrible. He is horrible. He's still horrible. I didn't but the bad guy.
Did he at least do some sit-ups maybe to get some abs or something?
So something to look at?
He has. So I didn't finish Iron Fist, obviously.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had a tattoo of the stupid dragon on his chest. That's supposed to be a shirt for his costume. Why is it tattooed on his chest? Or am I wrong? Am I being crazy? Maybe it doesn't. I don't remember. But it's dumb is the point. It looks dumb on him.
No matter what, if it's right, it's dumb.
Yes. Yep.
It's like
Iron Fist can do no right.
Okay. So in the comics, it is a tattoo.
Oh, well, it's fatter, right?
I mean,
is it thicker?
I guess it doesn't look as stupid as
with 2 C's.
It's darker. The one in the series looks like it's faded a lot and like he kind of regrets getting it. That kind of tattoo. Like,
oh my gosh.
Just let it fade out.
But the thing I really want to have happen, I don't know that it will happen, is Sigourney Weaver plays the bad guy. And I really want her to be on screen at the same time as whatever her name is, who plays Trinity from The Matrix. Because she's Jessica Jones's friend. And I just want to see them face to face.
Yeah.
I understand. That'd be cool. They both have the
badass.
Badass kind of feel to them.
Yeah.
The screen will explode.
Other than Iron Fist, every time it switches to any character, I'm invested and interested. Although I'm actually noticing, it's really funny, I'm noticing in Luke Cage's scenes, the thing that made me stop watching Luke Cage, or even in his own little snippets, it's still like spending lots of time with him. It's like, I'm riding a bus to hip hop. I'm walking down the street to hip hop. It's like, talk, do something.
Spit.
Why did they make him? Why did they like try to force like, I don't know, like one-liners with him?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just felt that way, even in the standalone one.
Yeah.
It was so much better than Jessica Jones.
The hip-hop things are badass. I've just had my fill. I'm satiated and I don't need more.
Need different things now.
So I will keep watching The Defenders, because so far it's good, but I'm not very far into it, so it has plenty of time for it to go bad.
You're 3-4 episodes in, right? You're halfway.
Oh, is it only 8 episodes?
8 episodes, yeah.
Oh, gosh. It's taking its time. Like, it's good it's not rushing things? I don't know. I watched that. I also started watching The Tick. I'm 4, I know for a fact, I'm 4 episodes into The Tick.
Amazon,
oh my
right?
gosh.
Yeah.
What is that
Oddly
show?
enough, it's on Amazon, but it's being advertised on YouTube, which I guess is weird.
That's strange. What is that show? Because when I first saw that commercial, I thought it was a spoof commercial for something. I didn't think it was.
Did you not
see the
watch
old
the? Yeah.
No.
Did you not watch the
Okay.
cartoon?
I mean,
No.
it's more of that.
Okay,
It's,
more
got
of-
it.
it's satire.
Yeah.
It's more of that stuff. It's good.
Got it.
It's
The
really good.
old thing was great though. What's his name? What's his name again?
Patrick Warburton.
Yes.
I can't
Oh,
do
that
that.
name's
Hey,
that name doesn't
Peter.
make sense. That's why it
This
sounds
guy's
familiar. Take it. I was like, oh, that sounds familiar. Oh.
Poison for Cusco. Cusco's poison.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Such
Oh,
a
jeez.
beautiful voice.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I'm really liking it. I haven't seen the old tick recent enough to really feel comfortable making a comparison, but I'm very much enjoying the current new one. So I'll watch that first. Then I'll go back and watch Defenders more. I didn't watch it yet, but also Death Note came out. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it.
Yes,
I
I've
really
heard
hated the
it's.
trailer.
I've heard it's bad. That's what I heard.
Okay.
I heard
won't watch it then.
I heard
Easy decision.
who's the famous actor
Yeah.
that got
Willem
was it
Dafoe, you're right.
Willem Dafoe. I heard Willem Dafoe is decent in it. From what I never watched Death Note because I had heard enough about the ending to basically be like, it's not really. I don't really care
It's
anymore.
a very overhyped anime. I
Yeah.
think because it's a lot of people's like first anime they see as like their
Yeah.
formative anime years. It's
Yeah,
a good anime.
yeah.
It's just
It's
overhyped.
pretty big in the US,
Yeah.
right? Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh,
it got pretty big
Most
here.
people
I
who
guess
say they've
that's
watched
why.
anime have seen it.
Yeah. I'm really weird when it comes to anime. I've watched like
And I hate mainstream shit.
yeah, I like the only mainstream thing I really liked as a kid was Rurouni Kenshin. Like that was me. I was the weirdo who watched that anime.
Did you
and
like?
so-
It's like one of the
like
best
Totoro?
animes. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm sorry, but people think it's weird. I'm like, no, I love it. It's
How is
my
it
favorite.
weird?
We're both weird. It's awesome.
It's anime. It's gonna be weird.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be weird. I tried
And Samurai
showing
X is less weird than most animes.
Samurai X is really depressing. I watched that when I was
So good.
so good.
Did
though.
you know
It's
there's
so
like
depressing.
live action movies?
Oh yeah, I did hear. I haven't seen any of them.
It's like
though. I heard
Japanese
there
live
were.
action movies.
Yeah.
I
I
think
heard
there's
there were.
3 or something.
Yeah, I heard there were.
I feel like watching it.
So yeah, same. Anyway, Rurouni Kenshin's awesome, no matter what anybody says. But like, definitely
Isn't
was
that
just.
one of the best? What?
I don't know. No one's actually really made fun of me. It's just
That's
mostly
the
people
red
are
like
like,
cat guy, right?
What?
yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
seen it. I've heard of it. I've never actually seen Rurouni Kenshin.
It's
he
very-
wears red, has long white hair, kind of like cat ears or something. Wolf ears.
But no. He has red hair in a ponytail, cross-shaped scar.
That
He has
does
a
not
reverse
sound
blade
familiar.
sword.
That sounds like Space Captain Harlock. Which is a great anime, probably better than your Rurouni Kenshin crap.
No, Rurouni Kenshin's amazing. You shut up. Anyway, but it's very '90s anime is the thing. So I tried
yeah.
to show Rurouni Kenshin to my boyfriend
It's like
once,
Trigun.
and he understands '90s anime, but I forgot how freaking cheesy it could be because I was like, oh man, there were certain scenes I was like, oh no. But anyway,
Okay.
it's great.
I googled
Point-
it. I committed a sin. I confused it with Inuyasha,
Oh no! How
which
dare
I also
you?
haven't seen.
I never finished
I think
Inuyasha.
it was
I
like
watched some of it.
The
It
same
came out
time with like Ninja Scroll or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Around the same
Anyway,
time.
yeah. Anyway, back
Ninja
to
stuff. Yeah.
back to
And
Death
back to
Note.
the room.
Yeah,
Death
I don't
Note,
know.
yes.
I don't know why I never watched it because I was into those kinds of I liked that kind of serious and like dark tone. But I think when I heard about the ending, I just kind of went, not gonna bother.
It's one of those
you know?
things that most people say, like watch it to episode 20 and then stop. Or
That's
18,
kinda what I
whatever
heard.
episode it is.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. Or basically the first season is like good, and then the second season's kind of like same as Black
I
Butler
also-
from what I've heard.
I started watching Black Butler, but didn't I watched like the first 2 episodes. I didn't
I've
actually know
heard-
Death
yeah.
Note was going to be a movie. I thought it was going to be a show. It seems
Wait, it's a movie?
impossible for them.
Yeah, no, it's a
Netflix
live-
movie.
A live action
thought
Netflix
it was
I
movie.
don't
a
know
Oh yeah,
how they're going to compress the whole thing into a movie. That seems bananas.
yeah,
Although
I
that
know.
being said, I do hate like the first 6 episodes, so it might be a good thing.
Yeah, no, I knew this was in production for a while. I didn't follow
Right.
it. I just
mean,
when
yeah.
I heard about it, I was like,
I thought it was a show for some reason.
yeah, I was just kind of like, all right, I don't have that much interest in watching it. Besides, all the crazy scenes. But yeah, I've heard that the characterization's gotten really weird. From what I've heard of people who like the show.
From the trailer, I really didn't like the way they portrayed one of the main characters, who in the anime is super unflappable and stoic, almost like a Spock-like character.
Yeah,
and in the
yeah.
anime, he's like losing his shit, like no, blah, blah. It's like
I think
this is
I heard that
horrible.
too. Is that L? Is that who that is?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah. I heard that. I heard L was like really poorly characterized, and I heard Light was kind of a pushover or something. So it's like not the same. I don't know who Ryuk is, Ryuk, but apparently he's good.
That's Willem Dafoe's character.
Okay,
he's
that's
the
why.
Angel
Okay.
of Death.
Okay, that's why.
So,
I heard that.
This is the one that got a bit of that whitewashing thing, right?
I think so.
With
yeah,
probably.
Wasn't it?
Which is interesting because they cast a character as a black guy who's not black. So is that whitewashing? An Asian guy is a black guy.
It's an Asian guy. So recently, you guys heard about the new Hellboy thing, right?
I did hear of
the
it.
new Hellboy remake.
I don't think I've heard what you were talking about.
Yeah, I did hear about it.
There is a new... I think I mentioned it 2 weeks ago, but there's something new this week.
Okay. I've heard Hellboy things, but I don't think I've heard the thing.
Yeah, I don't know this news thing, but I know it's being made.
So this new Hellboy, Rise of the Blood Queen, is going to be Mila Jovovich is going to play the villain.
Ooh.
And it's going to be a remake. They recently cast
a remake
for a character named Ben Daimyo, which is a Japanese American.
Yeah,
but they're using a white guy. So it got some whitewash backlash.
Man, why is it always... Anyway. Oh, jeez. Stop. Yeah. His last name's Daimyo?
Daimyo.
Okay, I don't know Hellboy. Name. No, yeah. Daimyo is a Japanese word. Daimyo usually, if I remember correctly,
what am I thinking of?
refers to
Doge.
a lord.
Never mind.
Anyway, I just thought
not Doge the dog, like Doge the like leader of Italy in the medieval times.
Got it. Well, daimyo, if I remember correctly, means like a leader or like a ruler of some sort, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know Japanese like at all. I just was struck by the fact that was his last name. Anyway, the whitewashing thing. They're just not learning, are they?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why? The Hellboy article for this character is only in French.
Time to get
Google
the
can translate it for me, but that's
play
strange.
Hellboy? I know it's not, what's his name?
Yeah, it's not that guy, which a lot of people...
Ron
Perlman.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Because he wants to.
Yeah.
Do they think he's
we
too
all
old?
want him to.
Do they think he's too old? Is that the problem?
It's not that Hellboy jumps around a lot.
Yeah.
He's like a big guy with a big ass fist.
Yeah.
He punches shit. And
that was one thing that was cool. At the Seattle Mopop Museum, they did have Hellboy's Good Samaritan gun behind glass.
Holy
that's
shit.
Cool.
Nice. Fuck. So yeah.
I can't find this character.
I played the same shit. I played more Persona 5. I'm like 100 hours in. I'm still not finished yet. And I'm going to play it again with Japanese voice after this.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a new game plus, and then you can bring over most things except your relationship levels.
Okay.
So then the second playthrough, I don't need to focus on leveling up my social stats. I can just go with the relationship stuff and
oh, that's nice.
That is, the relationship stuff is like one of my favorite parts of the game anyway. So
right. What's the reason you replay it?
Yeah.
One of.
But there's a point, I've reached a point in the game where there's something that's really, really annoying. So leveling up relationships, you get to know more about the characters, blah, blah, blah. But you also get like bonuses and like passive stuff and all that, right?
Yes.
So one of the characters, the first character that you meet actually, at about level, I don't know, 7, 8, something like that, you'll get a skill where there's a chance to insta-kill enemies before you even get into battle. And it's really fucking annoying. I like playing Persona 5 battles. Stop killing them. Fuck. You don't get experience points. You don't get yen money. You only get the you can actually capture a persona if you have space in your persona inventory, as well as, and also if you don't have the persona already. But that's all. You don't get anything else. And it's like it only activates against a lower level enemies. But it gets to the point where, because I like to grind a lot, I'm in a new dungeon, I grind. So it reaches a sweet spot where the enemies that much lower level than me that it will activate the insta kill, but it's not lower level enough. But it still gives me good experience points if I get to fight it.
Yeah.
It reaches that sweet spot and it keeps insta killing him, and I'm like, fuck you, bastard. Just let me turn it off. That's all I want.
Yeah, that's really annoying. I was about to say, when you told me you don't even get experience from it, I was like, wait a second, this actually could make things worse, because I'm guessing what they're trying to do is basically try to... Although, is Persona 5 like Persona 4, where, yeah, they're technically, some battles are unavoidable, but you could technically just keep running away from the enemy if you're fast enough? Is it still kind of like that, or is it just kind of random battles like old JRPGs?
Oh no, it's not random.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, like, you're
Insta-kill only activates when you ambush an enemy. So technically, I can don't ambush an enemy, but I like ambushing enemies.
Well, yeah,
why are you taking away options from me? Why?
You get advantage. Well, just because it would be one thing if this was a way to kind of speed up the process, because I think, I never played Bravely Default, but I've heard Bravely Default has this system where if you are high enough, because they do just basically do random battles, if you are high enough level, you basically can just, like, auto-kill the enemies on screen.
Yeah, you can.
But
basically, what you do is you just choose all the actions, and then you can speed up the game. You like literally speed it up, like if you're playing on an emulator almost. And you can also turn on auto battle, which each character will redo the last action. So if you're strong enough, you basically kill everything.
Yeah. And
this is just like, I'm like, fuck you. I want to have experience. I like playing the battles. It's just fun.
Yeah, but also if you need to grind, like, you're losing out on experience. Like, that's
like, I understand,
stupid.
like, because sometimes you might need to go, like, in a lower level dungeon or something.
Yeah.
For some reason, whatever. And maybe you need to, like, it makes it easier. But I would turn it on.
Yeah.
If that was the case.
Yeah.
And maybe if I'm not in a lower level, then I would turn it off.
Yeah.
But just give us the option to.
Yeah, that's really dumb. That's super dumb.
So annoying. So fucking annoying. Now I need to sometimes, like, let the enemies ambush me. I'm like, fuck.
And then you don't get advantage, and you're like, oh, come on. Yeah, that's
but I'm
really...
still strong enough. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
It's like I have to think about all these things now. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, the main thing is you're not getting experience from it. I think that's just stupid. Like, come on, at least give me, even if it's not the full experience, get me, like, a portion of it. Like, come on, this is just a waste of my time then. What's the point? Yeah, that's annoying. I've started to actually, because I used to never, like, auto-battle anything, but actually the Fire Emblem Echoes, there's a way,
There are auto battles?
Kind of. You can actually, in the Fire Emblem Awakening, you could do auto battle. I never did in that game. But you could if you wanted to. But in Echoes, basically, it's not quite just an auto battle. You actually have 4 different tactical options, which is kind of cool. So either you can pick charge, which just means everybody charges the enemy and tries to do an attack. Improvise, which I don't quite know the difference, but I think improvise is supposed to be like do what your character does best. So in charge, your cleric might try to attack, while in improvise, your cleric might try to heal someone, for instance. Pull back, meaning everyone just pulls back, and I forget what it's called, but it's like surround me. So surround the main player. You know, maybe the main player is dying or something, so surround them and guard them, kind of thing. And I don't use those a lot, but there are basically random battles in Fire Emblem Echoes, long story short. And so sometimes I'm in a random battle that I have to do. I can't avoid it, basically. And I'm like, oh, these guys are going to take 5 seconds to kill. I don't want to think about trying to get through everyone. So I just click charge and put my DS down. It's pretty great. So.
Yeah. Bravely Default was also a pretty cool one. Makes grinding so easy.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the reasons I like. I'm like, oh gosh, this makes grinding so much easier. And Awakening, there was an auto battle. I just never did it. A, because I liked controlling all my troops, and I think B, I was usually in battles where I needed to tactically. I was trying to make sure certain characters attacked certain things, and so the other cool thing with Echoes too, to help with grinding, your main characters, in each army, because they were always your strongest character, right? A, they have the best level up. B, they're there all the time, right? There's a special weapon they each get that has a special ability called Subdue, where what it does is, if you're powerful and if that character's powerful enough to kill an enemy in one hit, it will actually take them down to 1 HP. And this is really useful because if you have other stragglers that are, like, lagging behind in levels, because you always get more levels if you kill something than if you just attack it. So you take it down to 1 HP and then have one of your weak guys to get the final blow so they get all the experience, which is really nice.
Okay, so like, I'm just... We were talking about Hellboy, right?
Yeah.
And the actor, Ed Screen, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Eddie. He tweeted, super excited to be playing an Asian guy, whatever, right? So...
Wait, is that actually what he's... Okay.
Is that actually what he said?
I'm excited to join Hellboy, blah, blah, blah. Obviously. It's like... Okay, so... So somebody said, yay, I can't... you're gonna be a great daimyo, which is fucking ironic. Because,
yeah,
okay.
right? Oh, man.
And then somebody else replied, yeah, since he's Japanese American, like the... Oh, wait. And the guy that said you're gonna be a great whatever, I believe he has the range.
Nice.
Oh, man.
It's all in the makeup.
I believe he has the range to play a different race.
Oh, boy. Yay.
I'm not sure if they're right or wrong.
That's pretty fucking funny. What?
I know.
Oh, man.
A little bit of both, though.
That's the best one I've seen. I believe he has the range. That's the best
range.
one.
Oh,
I can't even be mad at that.
I can't. I'm just like, well, all right.
Oh man, that's a fucking good one.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. Fun stuff.
I've also been playing on my new PS Vita.
Yeah. Sorry.
Playing Dragon's Crown right now.
Oh.
I got the aqua blue Vita because it's so pretty.
Ah, jealous.
Yes. Dragon's Crown is really nice. I also have what's that game? Downwell. I also have Downwell.
Oh, nice.
I
Yeah,
don't know
because
that game,
I got it from the PS Plus. It was like an indie game. It's that one that you play that small little white boy that goes down a well and shoots.
Did you interview the dev, or you did a video on it?
No. I did do a video on it.
Okay.
And it was like in my top 10 or something last year or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they had it at Mopop, the museum in Seattle, because they had a section for just indie games.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
They had,
what did they display, though?
It was just a bunch of, like,
posters?
Computers and consoles. You go up to and play. You actually play the games.
Oh.
They had, like, Into the Woods, or what's the new one? The Woods, with a cat person?
I think it's
Into the
Woods.
Yeah. Into the Woods? Okay.
Yeah. Should be.
So they had, like, new stuff, too. They had Pony Island. They had...
Island.
It's not Into the Woods. Fuck.
I know, just teasing.
Into the Woods is the musical.
Yeah,
I know. Night in the Woods.
Night in the Woods.
Sorry.
Night in the Woods. That one got pretty hot at one point, right?
Hot?
Yeah, the game
Hard.
like got really, really, like it got really popular at one point. Yeah.
Yes, it did. It had a brief surge, I think. I heard about it a lot.
I wonder why.
Furries? I don't know.
Darn it.
It's like a bunch of YouTubers played it, and then like everybody wanted to play it.
That's how it works.
Power of YouTube. So yeah, I have Dragon's Crown. I'm still waiting for Persona 4 Golden to come. I have the dancing one. Oh, I can't wait to play that.
Oh man. Yeah, my brother's been playing Persona 4 Golden, and oh man. It's not a bad game. I make fun of it because of some of the ways they portray certain social issues. It's just kind of like, oh, Japan kind of thing. Which, early 2000s it was written, so I kind of get that, but I still kind of eye roll on some of the things. But there are some genuinely extremely funny scenes, so be prepared.
Yeah. I don't think I want to... Is it better to play with a walkthrough? I don't know. I don't want to miss things, but I also don't want to, like... worry too much.
It depends... In my opinion, from what I've seen of it, it depends on how much you're willing to put the effort to replay the game. Because if you want to be able to get, like, the good ending and stuff, which can be difficult to do if you don't know what you're doing,
ending?
There's multiple endings.
Okay, so... Okay,
Yeah.
So what does it... what's the factors to the ending? Is it just relationships?
It's mostly the social links, yeah. How high up your social links are with certain people, and the main thing you have to be careful...
Is it only certain people or like everyone? Like true ending means everyone needs to be max level.
True ending, maybe everyone, but don't quote me on that, but like, because I don't really quite... Golden's kind of weird, because Golden had an extra
Persona
thing.
5 also has a bunch of endings. I didn't know that.
Oh.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm pretty
and
sure
they're
it's a
all
Persona
canon, too,
thing.
which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Oh, how to get bad endings in Persona 5. The first thing, you can just refuse the contract with that guy in the beginning of the game.
I love
that's
that.
funny.
I never
Oh,
get tired
man.
of that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I actually happened to see a couple of the bad endings you can get, like, in Persona 4 Golden. There's a point in the game where you have this something pretty major happens. Spoiler alert, I'm not gonna tell you what it is because I want you to see the game, but a pretty major event happens. And then you basically have, you and all your friends have basically 3 major decisions of what to do about it, and 2 of those decisions...
At the end?
It's not at the end, technically. It's like 2/3 of the way, I would say. And 2 of the decisions, basically, you skip to the last day of the game. Like, it goes... And then the ending's basically the same. You leave and nothing is solved. It's just that there are 2 different kind of ways it kind of goes about it. And then the one way is kind of the... wait, let's think this through some more kind of thing, and then you continue on with the game.
So I just read Persona 5. To get a good ending or the true ending is a choice near the end of the game.
Okay, they made
So
it easier.
They made it easy.
Yeah, Persona
So
4
I can
Golden
technically
is
like
not...
choose one ending and then play it again and get the other one, I guess.
Okay, that's nice, because Persona 4 Golden's not like that, because the main thing is that the social links, there's certain social links that if you don't have by, like, level 10 by a certain date, you're kind of screwed.
Aww.
Because some of them you
I
can't...
hate-
Yeah.
That's a huge problem that I haven't encountered in a game in a very long time, where essentially you've lost the game, but you don't know it for hours.
Yeah, and with Persona 4 Golden, it gets especially bad because you can only meet up with certain people on certain dates. You know, sometimes they're just not available, and the problem too is with Persona 4, I'm sure Persona 5 does this too, but there's lots of days where you're forced to do something. The game's like, nope, you're spending your time doing this. And so
Persona 5, that's basically the meme of the cat asking you to just go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's the Persona 5 meme.
Yeah, and so Persona 4 has the same issue, and my brother was getting so frustrated because he was like, why are they making me do this? Let me play the game. I still need to get my girlfriend up to level 10, or else I'm not going to be able to time to do it afterwards.
I actually saw a t-shirt on like one of the online shops about with the cat and then asking you to go to sleep. It's pretty cool. I wanted to buy it.
I kind of,
it's like $30. Fucking hell.
Oh, come on. That's not worth it. Anyway. But yeah, so to answer your question, it depends on how high strung you want to be on it. I say you should at least consult a guide that tells you like which social links you need for the true ending and which ones stop at what dates and when you can see them, and try to do it that way. One tip I can give you that my brother was doing, there are walkthroughs online that say follow this strict schedule. My brother messed up one day, and then he was so thrown off that he couldn't, he was too thrown off, so he was like, well, I'm just gonna stop looking at the guide. But one advice that may be helpful is don't go to do the dungeon battles unless you need to basically have to, which you'll understand what that means when you play it. So don't do all your grinding. It's gonna be rough, but do all your grinding and the main part of the story where you have to go in there in one night. So it's gonna be long times grinding and stuff like that, but I highly recommend that simply because then you can you free up the rest of your time with social links, because there are a lot. So many.
A social butterfly.
So it's some good stuff.
So I actually tried watching the Persona 3 animation movie number 1.
Oh,
There's
gosh.
3
when
or
did
4.
that come out?
Like a while ago.
A long time ago.
Like the 80s? 90s?
No.
2000s.
After the game came out.
Yeah,
I don't remember the game. I don't know all the first games.
like early 2000s,
Persona,
I think.
Persona 3 movie 1. Not Persona 1 movie. Persona 3
see.
movie.
Persona 1 movie would be weird.
And it's so fucking bad.
Oh no.
Yeah, I've heard it was terrible. Yeah.
It's horrible. So I am now going to try to watch Persona 4, the animation series. But the reason why Persona 3 was so bad, I would rather watch the game cutscenes rather than the fucking movie. It's like, basically the movie tried to put the game but in movie form. there's like no there's no structure, and there's no like flow, and there's like it's just for people who already played the game to relive the things that has already happened, and they didn't like really bother to make a proper thing out of it. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit I'm watching? There are like scenes where like it doesn't actually flow from one scene to the next. Mm-hmm. It's like do this thing here, and then they sometimes show the calendar flipping, and then shit happens, and then like the next thing, and I'm like, who thought this was a good idea?
Oh, jeez. That's painful.
It was so bad.
It's so painful.
I don't know how I survived like the first 40 minutes. I'm like, I don't think this is gonna get any better, so I'm just like, fuck this.
There is just to let you know, there's a Persona 4 anime and Persona 4 Golden anime. I don't know the difference. The difference is Persona 4 Golden has the extra golden stuff. I don't know which is better. I think I've seen scenes Persona 4 Golden, and it was pretty freaking hilarious because the main character is crazy. The guy that's, because, Persona game...
Crazy like Steins Gate crazy? Or
no! Well, crazy as in you're just like... Crazy as in, like, is this a real person kind of crazy? Like, because you know how Persona, the main character, as I've ranted before, they try to make, they're only boys, but, like, they try to make it a blank slate, and it's just kind of boring, and so there's no character, but it can only be a boy, so it's kind of stupid. They don't do that in the anime. He's just kind of... I don't know, I can't describe it. You kind of have to watch it to understand. But they play it like his voice is, like, super monotone the whole time, but the things he says, you're like... So, I don't know. It might be worth just watching for the just lulls of, oh, that's how they chose to characterize the main character. Got it.
And that's also the other thing. It's like, the main characters of the game don't have character, don't have voice, and then suddenly the anime sort of have them.
Yeah.
It's just really weird to me.
It's super weird. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's one of the reasons those things don't really work very well.
And like Persona 5 even, like sometimes the main character would like show a hint of characterization or whatever, like a hint of like emotion or whatever, right?
Yeah,
it's just weird. Just shut up, bro.
It's very strange. Yeah, I would look at Golden or whichever the anime it is, where it's just the main character is so... I can't describe it. I have to show you a clip.
It's the guy with the glasses, right?
Yeah, great. Well, they actually all have glasses. Part of Persona 4 is everyone, in order to go into the... You know how in Persona 3 it's guns?
Don't stop it.
No, it's not a spoiler. That's just the item.
Okay.
It's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler, I swear.
I am going to play it.
No. Like, that's just the item. So Persona 3, their item is a gun. In Persona 4, it's glasses. So out of... The thing that's most unrealistic about the game is that none of your friends already wears glasses. You happen to find all friends that don't wear glasses, and so they have to wear glasses to go into the world that they do all the battles.
Because nobody wears glasses in real life.
Apparently not. Thank goodness, I guess, for this case.
This is fake. This one has no frames. And there's no lenses in it. No frames.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. Anything else that you guys do?
I tried, for the second time, playing Elite Dangerous. And for the second time, I hollowed out because the tutorials are so bad.
Oh,
like,
jeez.
They're buggy. Like, so, there's a bunch of
tutorials are buggy?
There's a bunch of discrete tutorials. Like, here's the tutorial on basic ship controls. So the second tutorial in the list, you can do them in any order, is flying to a station and docking in the station. And it's bugged. I tried this 3 times and I just gave up. Where it's like, okay, teach you how to engage your, faster than light warp drive. And so I do it. It's like, now closing on your target destination space station. And when these 2 bars are blue, that means you're close enough and slow enough that you can disengage. So I do it. And when I do it, it, one after another, plays the sound bites for a success and a failure. It's like, okay, good job. Now request docking permission. And then it says, oh man, you stopped too soon. Gonna have to try again. And because it's triggered the failure scenario, the tutorials don't let you do things unless you've done them in the right order. So I can't deploy my landing gear. And I can't finish the tutorial. And it's like, I'm done. I can't play this game. I guess just too frustrating.
Do you need to do the tutorials?
No, but it doesn't instill me with confidence, and it just gets me upset, so I just stop playing.
True. If they can't even get the tutorials right,
each time I play the game, I have to do the tutorial again, because there's so many buttons. Just like, it's it's not an easy game to just pick up and play. You kind of like immerse yourself in it for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so annoying.
It is horrible.
I wonder if there's like custom controllers for games like that. They do, right?
I mean,
can you use like a flight simulator kind of controller?
Yeah, I have my fancy dancy joystick throttle set up, which is
nice.
why basically the tutorial just devolves into me like hitting every single button once, trying to figure out what to do, or more than once most of the time. So it's not easy, but it's also super optimized for an Oculus Rift, because like one of the buttons on that joystick moves your head, and moving the joystick moves the ship, and so there's a lot of menus you have to like access by looking at the a screen off to your left or your right, and so being able to just turn your head would make it drastically easier.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Didn't you play some Metroidvania game? What is it called again? Yes.
So, my channel previously, when last we heard from Foehamner, I was playing Even the Ocean and the Dark Side Detective, which are both. Dark Side Detective was very, very good. Even the Ocean was okay. I finished them both, so I've moved on now. The first episode of the new game. The first episode of the first of the two new games came out today, and it's called Omega Strike, and It is a Metroidvania a la Metal Slug. So, so a lot of the combat's very Metal Slug-like, where there's like gently sloping floors, so you have to like jump and shoot, or crouch and shoot. The important twist here is you play. It's like. So in Owlboy, you get a party, you can swap between them instantaneously. It's the same here in Omega Strike. You have a ninja with a shotgun, a commander with like a machine gun.
Ninja with a shotgun.
Well, he's more like I don't know, he's like Snake. He looks kind of like a ninja. He's not actually a ninja.
Right.
He's got like a cyber commando kind of thing. We have an actual commander with a machine gun, and you have a like Demo Man type guy. And the Demo Man's shots are like Demo Man from Team Fortress 2. It's like little orbs that fall pretty quickly, so you can shoot off of edges with that nicely. To start with, that's all they do, but then, because it's a Metroidvania, as you progress, they unlock extra moves, so you can access new areas. Like, the Commando can roll, so you can go under, like, low things. The Ninja can always double jump. The Demo Man can push rocks, and I haven't actually unlocked what either of their special things are yet. But that'll be interesting. So I'm really liking it. The gameplay feels pretty good. There's the one thing I kind of don't like, but wouldn't say it's bad per se, is enemies drop gold. It's kind of like the main resource in the game is just gold, and you can buy upgrades for individual characters' weapons. So like I can upgrade the damage or the range of each character's weapon, and I don't like that because I don't want to like feel specialized into any character. I want to be able to switch them on the fly rapidly. I don't ever want to be in a situation where it's like, oh, this boss is best beaten by this character, so I need to go grind up some more gold. Right. So we'll see. It hasn't happened yet, but we'll see. I think it's a short game. It's definitely in beta right now. So, I mean, I say it's definitely in beta. It's definitely in beta, but it's not like, oh, this game's very rough. It's definitely in beta. I mean, if I didn't know it was in beta, I wouldn't know it was in beta. It feels like a finished game.
Right.
And the other game I started playing, the first episode of which will come out tomorrow, is called Don't Open the Doors, and I picked it up because it's a claymation game. Like, all the graphics are claymation, which is always cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's an isometric game where you kind of just...
Oh, this one!
It's like isometric clay Zelda, basically.
That's cool.
I've had it on my wish list for a while.
I'm liking it.
Then I took it out because I haven't bought it for so long.
Let's see. Without knowing how much... $8? That's right on the border for what I would say it's worth.
I did also wishlist it because it was claymation. I was like, claymation,
I want to
RPG?
It's cool.
Yeah.
So far, there hasn't been much RPG stuff. Basically, so the plot is, like, one day, on a peaceful day, doors just started appearing. It's like the invasion of doors. So I'm not really sure what they did other than just appear. So you're kind of just running around the countryside going into these doors, which are like little, like obstacle course levels full of like enemies and like moving spiky blocks and that kind of thing. And then some of them you will get a book at the end, and then the book lets you basically like learn, like improves your hammer strike or teaches you how to use bombs or a gun or something like that. So it's not super RPG-y yet, but I just got armor, so apparently gear is a thing. We'll see.
Does it actually show up on your character, like what you wear?
Yes.
Holy shit. That takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just an overlay. Like it's like a pretty. They built the armor and just took they have a picture of it at like certain angles. So it's not like they animated the character running and then did it again with armor and did it again with It's just kind of stuck on. But it looks fine. It looks cool.
I mean, hey, it's still a lot of work.
The world's
general.
pretty.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like real claymation too. It's not like animated claymation.
Like when you smash things, they turn into piles of clay.
Oh my
Like little puddles.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's very.
I wonder if it was
a
worth
lot of character.
I wonder if it was worth it though. Claymation takes so much time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's everything new from me. I think next weekend I will not be on the podcast as well because PAX.
Right.
Right. Oh gosh. Forgot about PAX.
It might be my last PAX though, because I liked Gen Con so much, and I feel like it fills the same niche as PAX. I mean, PAX is video games, Gen Con's board games, but the
You
point
don't have
of
to
me
wait in
going to both
lines.
of them is to play things, and
Right.
PAX is just so much more crowded. Like, even though I go to the indie booths, which don't really have lines, I still have to navigate through like a press of people, and it sucks.
Right.
NPR published a list of their top 100 favorite graphic novels. I'm looking through that right now. There's some interesting stuff.
I'm interested to see what they put.
I will link it.
Like of all time or like this year?
I think all time. It's definitely not this year.
Okay. Curious what
They're
time.
not going super old either. It's sorted kind of by genre. I don't even think it's listed 1 to 100. It's just kind of here's 100.
I was like Watchmen. Okay. I was like, I'm sure they have Watchmen on here. How could they not?
Watchmen's super overhyped. It's good.
I liked it quite a bit. To be fair, I read it before the movie came out.
I did too.
Not to be all hipster like, but I did before the movie came out. And so
I worked in a comic shop, so I had to read it. It was part of my
yeah.
onboarding process. Not literally.
Yep.
Practically.
I quite enjoyed it, but I could understand. I kind of liked it almost as a piece. It's almost like a historical piece in comic books, just because of what it jump started in comic book history. But I mean, it's definitely not.
You could say the same thing about like Fantastic Four, though, which I also don't like. I like Watchmen, but I don't like Fantastic Four. But they also like the progenitors of superheroes for a lot of ways.
Right. Yeah. Anyway.
Welcome back. Is that tattoo new? The bomb?
The what?
The bomb tattoo on
This one?
your...
This one?
Yeah. It's an apple. It's a bomb.
It's a... Okay, so there's an anime called Jigoku no Shoujo? Something like that? Girl from Hell.
Okay.
And it's a literal girl from hell. And
Great.
which you can communicate with through the internet, because of course. and what you do is you tell her, I want this person to die a horrible death and go to hell to suffer forever. But the payment is you will get this tattoo to remind yourself that you will also go to hell and to suffer.
Interesting.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good anime. Good music, good anime. The first season was probably the best. They had like 3 seasons. First season's always the best.
Yeah, of course. Especially in those kinds of animes.
That kind of reminded me. I didn't realize the main premise of Pony Island was the devil is a programmer and he's not very good.
Yep. Yeah, I know. It's amazing.
Did you buy the bundle?
So weird.
Was that in the bundle? Pony Island?
Oh no, it was free at one point.
It was,
Yeah.
I will probably pick it up soonish. Once I have whenever I never have a gap in my queue.
It's like a 4-hour game. It's super cheap.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Because I was thinking I might try
probably
to
shorter than that, maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Dark Souls 3 had a random patch today, and when I clicked the view news, it didn't take me to patch notes. It took me to a link to a PC gamer from August 19th, the title of which is "The Souls-like label needs to die."
Oh.
The argument being that multiple games have labeled themselves as Souls-like in a bid to cash in on being like that, and then when more information about that game is revealed, and you find out it's actually just an action RPG, all the fans just leave, and it gets negative backlash, and so it's more harmful than good.
Yeah. Well, I think the Souls-like label in itself is kind of silly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Personally, whether you like Dark Souls or not.
I think it's also because like Metroidvania, you can actually see the mechanics that makes a game Metroidvania.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like Dark Souls is way harder to emulate. Like what makes Dark Souls Dark Souls? Not just the difficulty.
Which discrete things make it Dark Souls? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because
it's
especially
not dodge rolling.
Right. I mean, is it okay? Is the dodge rolling like that's okay? I remember when I would first tell people I like that kind of thing, and now when I think of that mechanic, I actually think of Jade Empire. Funny enough, not Dark Souls, but that's what everyone always tells me about. I'm like, not like that, because I've seen what Dark Souls, not like that, But or is it like this kind of a story? Because Dark Souls does have a pretty deep, its own mythos and stuff like that. But so are good fantasy RPGs, kind of thing. Is it
a lot? A lot of RPGs
exactly.
has mythos. Are you talking about the art style? A lot of other games have similar.
Right. Are you talking about the difficulty? I don't know. I think it's just kind of.
I think it's just a combination of a few things as well.
Yeah.
And it's just really hard to emulate because you don't know what makes a Souls-like game a Souls-like game.
Yeah.
It's like Metroidvania is a bit more clear.
Yeah.
It's a bit more clear, but like the things that are difficult to emulate is like level design.
Right.
Let's say. Right. But Dark Souls is like
I will say
everything. You just
that,
don't know what.
Like, technically speaking, if you use the phrase Metroidvania, that theoretically should include the RPG elements of Castlevania, but I use it when that game doesn't have that feature.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Axiom Verge doesn't have RPG elements.
Which doesn't? Axiom Verge? Right. I'm saying I use Metroidvania
It's basically
to describe...
a Metroid game, right? That is basically
yes,
Metroid.
I use Metroidvania to describe just Metroid games.
Yeah, I can understand that. I didn't play either of those games, but I always know what they're talking about.
I guess you can call a side-scrolling RPG with like, because even Castlevania games have like certain places where you can't access without getting a specific skill kind of thing.
Right, and that's the big thing to me is like the backtracking because you unlocked a new ability type thing.
Because Metroid had that too. Yeah,
it's basically a side-scrolling open world, pretty much. It's just like
that's my loose
non-linear
criteria.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So it doesn't really have to have leveling up and stuff.
Right.
It doesn't. But I mean, technically it should.
I guess.
I think.
I guess technically I forgot by that. Yeah. It's hard. I mean, the other thing the thing is those games are almost. I'm gonna sound really stupid saying this. Those games are almost, in my opinion, like classic in a way. When you think of like, not completely. I mean that word gets mushed, but like Dark Souls to me is. I know it's technically got its roots from way back when, but I still feel like it's a little too modern to be able to be used as it's a Dark Souls-like game. I don't know. That's just me, though.
You mean it hasn't...
Has it aged, I guess? I don't know. To me, it's considered too new compared to, like, Metroid or Castlevania, in my opinion.
I think it's because there's no proper Souls-like game that is not Dark Souls. Or Bloodborne.
Yeah,
there has to be. I'm sure there is.
Is there? Salt and Sanctuary?
Sorry. You're saying a game newer than Dark Souls
yes.
that is Dark Souls?
Yes.
Okay, maybe.
To make that into like a legit genre. Backwards. Like Metroidvania, there are games that are not Metroid and Castlevania that emulated that.
Yeah, they can advertise
What was that Japanese game where it was very Dark Soulsy? What?
Very Dark Soulsy.
If I just Google Japanese Dark Souls, it's just
Japanese
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls is Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Wait a second. I was like, wait, something's not right here.
I think I found it.
What is it called?
It is called
Ninja Gaiden?
Neo.
Oh, Neo. Right.
N-I-O-H exclamation point. That game's super Dark Soulsy.
Yeah. Apparently it is. And apparently it's way more grindy as well.
Yeah, I heard that as well. That's kind of why I didn't have interest in it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get it though. It's a PS4 exclusive, but I'm like...
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's a PS4 exclusive.
Then
I did get Bloodborne.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't played it properly yet, but there's just a sense of like... Well, the reason why I got Bloodborne, I wasn't really planning to, but for one is in Asia there's like a physical copy of the main game and the DLC. It's like a Game of the Year edition kind of thing in Asia and Europe. I don't think the States got it. I'm not too sure. North America, I'm not too sure. That's also because it's like, it's pretty cool, I guess, main game and DLC. And the other thing is, I saw a few comments about people saying if you want to play a modern game that has like Castlevania-esque aesthetics, Bloodborne is that game. And there's no other Castlevania games to play other than the old ones. So I'm like, okay, I'll play that. And so now I can tell people that I'm better than them. Life or whatever.
Although Bloodborne's not as hard as a true Dark Souls game, so you get good.
Do people actually say that?
I don't know. To be honest, I've heard I would prefer Bloodborne because, as I've told you, like I like the kind of duck and roll kind of stuff, and
apparently Bloodborne is more fast paced.
That's what
it
exactly.
Looked harder to me, but
it's
I
like
played it.
I heard it was faster
paced. It's because there's a mechanic where you can regain back your health if you attack.
Okay.
Right. Basically, when you get hit,
gotta be fast paced.
It's like the damage of your health bar goes like a different color, and if you deal damage, you can recover that health bar before it disappears all the way.
Yeah.
So you can't really play defensive, I guess. Maybe.
I
just read like people saying
no
don't use shields.
I mean, there's like one shield, I think, or something.
Don't use shields or whatever.
Yeah, because that was exactly the reason why I was told I would like it, because it's more of like you're on the offensive. It's not like slow and trying to dodge. It's very much just kind of woo, then going for the hit. And so that's why I was told I was like it. I don't know if it's actually easier. I figure somebody has said that, so that's why I'm saying it to you. So go get good.
Get good.
Get good.
Well, if you've never played Demon Souls, you're not a true Souls fan.
It's
That's
true.
This one, apparently.
I haven't played it.
I played like a half an hour of them. Like, nope, not for me.
Yeah, that's pretty much what my brother did. He tried
Demon
and he was
Souls
like,
isn't a true Souls game. It's not open world. It's too linear.
What is it? Warburton voice.
I don't know.
oh gee.
Ah, jeez, Rick.
You're not playing true Dark Souls unless you play the, what's the name of that class where, like, you have nothing? Oh, I forget what it's called.
Deprived.
Yeah. Deprived.
Yeah, Deprived. Unless you play full Deprived route. No hit route.
I've never done that. That just sounds super not fun for me.
Yeah. No, most definitely. Most definitely.
So, yeah. Want to get into some news, y'all?
Sure.
It's probably that time of day.
Let's do it.
So what have you all got? Gamescom was a thing, so there's a bunch of Gamescom stuff that was announced.
I saw Angela Merkel play Farm Simulator.
Yeah.
What?
The German, what's the name?
Because it's in Germany.
Yeah. Sorry, I was saying
leader.
what as in, huh? That's weird. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Do you guys know that there's a...
I think it's because elections are coming soon, so
Yeah, they
gotta
are.
get those young people votes.
Gotta get that
Yeah, the
farming young people vote.
millennials.
Yeah, all
Don't
those
like it if
young
we play
farmers.
Do
games.
young people play Farmville or Farm Simulator? I mean,
I think they. It's very niche, so I don't think you can categorize this demographic with age.
Sure.
Maybe.
That's funny.
Maybe age. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But it's super niche though.
A bunch of my friends play it and love it because they just really like sandbox games.
Yeah, a lot of
But
people love
I
like
don't.
all the train simulators, the truck simulators.
Yeah, there's
Train
not...
Simulator is the one that tempts me the most, honestly. I like trains.
Yeah,
I like
but it's super
trains.
expensive to get the entire set though.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not
almost
gonna get
better to
any.
just spend your money on like actual model trains because it's tangible.
Yes,
Yeah.
But you can't drive it. You can't drive it.
That's true.
I could mod it to drive.
I'm pretty sure those
Control.
simulator games has like VR compatibility, right? It would make
So-
sense.
recent ones almost certainly do. I can't imagine
That would be
they don't.
cool, actually.
Speaking
unless
of
you get people-
VR,
Yes.
KFC
Oh,
apparently
Oh
made
gosh.
this VR train. They say it's a VR training game. From what I've seen of the video, I'm pretty sure someone just made a VR game with KFC on it, stuff on it. I actually need to see if there's even any KFC logos on it, because that would be the main indicator to tell me whether it's actually legit or not. But there is a VR KFC game where basically you're in this weird room that's got like Colonel Sanders in a framed photo, and like raw chicken comes from the ceiling and you have to try to cook it. I wish I was kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm watching it right now. I think it's a locked room mystery. And yeah, there's
Isn't
this weird...
it supposed to train them or something? No.
That's apparently the idea. Is it's supposed to train you how to like cook chicken and stuff. Like you put them in the fryer, and then there's a weird robot that comes and helps you. I don't know. And then you put them in the little like heating thing, and the grease.
Is this Frog Fractions 3?
I would not put it past them. And then apparently you put your hand on... Oh, that's really strange. Okay, so there's this weird robot that's, like, part of this tour. I don't know what he's saying. But he, like, you put your hand on him and he leads you to the next room. I'm not comfortable with that at all. By the way, the KFC logo is technically in there, so... And Colonel Sanders' face, it's definitely Colonel Sanders' face. So.
I want to see them, like, program anything the player can do. Like, I throw oil on Colonel Sanders! It's like,
Oh, man, that'd be great.
And you lose. But I just want to see it rendered.
I think my biggest disappointment with this game is that it actually looks decently made. Like, the graphics, I mean. And the gameplay, I don't know. Like, the graphics actually look pretty legit for a VR game.
It has a very... I want to say... Portal Bioshock feel to it?
Interesting.
Yes, it does.
Very
and it
mysterious
like post-apocalyptic.
It
You're
makes
trapped
me...
in the KFC.
Yeah.
Post-apocalyptic KFC.
Very, very uncomfortable.
AI
Also, I
commands
just saw that you give a chicken leg to like a metal face of Colonel Sanders, and now I'm really confused. I don't know. It's called let's see. It's called The Hard Way. This was called The Hard Way, a virtual reality training Kentucky Fried Chicken.
That's not good. The Hard Way. What?
Yeah, an employee training program. There's a trailer. And I don't have the sound on for the trailer, but it's creepy. They try to make it seem like it's almost like a horror game, and I'm not really a fan.
Well, at least there's something going for it rather than just a straight up training simulator.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like it looks too good to just be a training simulator. Is
like,
the problem?
The fact we're hearing about this implies it's a game and not just like some internal tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because it reminds me, one of the most valuable, like I think it's an NES cartridge. Is there was some really old kind of bad NES game that was like a training manual for like a nuclear some position at a nuclear plant. There's only like 100 cartridges, only a couple, maybe one's left or something like that.
Jeez.
That's gonna be rare shit.
Yep.
It's gonna be real expensive. The shittiest shit is always expensive.
I know.
Yeah.
Yay, rarity. Anyway, so I know nothing else about where this game is, how you get it, whatever. I just know it exists, so that's a thing.
They should give it out as like their whatever KFC Happy Meal is called.
Oh my gosh, yes, I would play it.
There's actually I saw a games deal, which is also a pizza deal at the same time. I think it's only in Australia, and I think it's Domino's. I'm not too sure. But it's basically you buy like $40 worth of pizzas, and like it's a set like pizzas and drinks, blah blah blah, and you get Final Fantasy 14 for some reason. And like I think all the DLCs.
How progressive!
Yeah.
Okay. How much pizza do I have to buy? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Like it's probably not even
like
that.
Pizza.
Yeah, I like pizza. I like throwing parties. Let's look at Final Fantasy 14, I guess.
Yep. So Final Fantasy 15 was announced for the PC.
Right.
Oh my.
Yep. And it's gonna get modding tools. It's actually going to be Steam
I missed
Workshop.
Oh
yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
All right, Final Fantasy, doing good.
And they are letting the players put in new mods if
so
they want to.
So we can get
basically.
player-made Blitzball.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, someone's gonna do it, or 50
More
of them.
Blitzball.
Oh jeez. I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm very surprised.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm very surprised, but hey, I mean, that can't be bad. So.
And I think that's gonna be it's gonna support 4K as well.
Oh, okay. Is this like the first like Final Fantasy game on a PC?
No.
Oh, okay.
7 and 8 was on the
second?
PC.
Oh, third.
Oh, they ported it though later, right? Or was it always on the PC?
It was when it first came out.
That's
as well.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
I know that actually. I don't have it, but I know that now. That's right.
Yeah.
Strange.
What else? Very peculiar name though. Final Fantasy 15 Windows Edition.
Uh-oh. Sorry, Mac users.
And Linux users.
Yeah.
We even forgot about them. We didn't even say sorry to them.
Listen. I legit know a guy who accidentally deleted his Mac OS twice. And yes, accidentally deleted it. And
What?
basically
How do you accidentally delete an OS?
This guy, he, especially on a Mac of no less, he's a very special guy.
Man.
He later, because he finally did it the second time, he just transformed his Mac laptop into a Linux machine. So that was a thing. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. He's now a
That's
computer
not easy,
program
from
for
what I hear.
some company in Texas. So there you go.
Huh.
Yeah.
And apparently they are trying to make it run on low-end systems as well.
Oh, okay.
Like older
Yes.
PCs, apparently. Not sure what they mean by that, but...
Yeah.
Because that's still kind of vague. But it's cool, I guess.
I mean, hey, that's better than most companies do, so we'll see. I was just imagining... Sorry. I was just imagining that all the character models are back to, like, Final Fantasy VII Polygon style. And I don't know why I found that really funny, but I found that really funny.
Oh, it's gonna be out on Origin as well?
Oh, wow. They're really going everywhere. So Steam and Origin. Okay.
I guess so. That's what it said on the article I'm looking at.
All right.
Cool.
Steam and Origin, I guess.
I am very surprised, but okay. I didn't think they could do that. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm pretty sure the first mod will be a nude mod for the mechanic. Pretty sure about that.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously. Although there's a lot of guys in this game, so it might take a little longer. Just a
Yeah.
little. Gee.
Age of Empires 4 is also a thing.
Yes, it is a thing.
That's a thing. But something else is also a thing that I'm pretty fucking excited about. Secret of Mana is getting a 3D remake.
I just saw that on Steam just now, actually.
Yeah,
Wow.
wishlist.
Cool.
It's coming out for the PC, Steam, PS4, and the Vita. So I might actually get a physical version. Not sure which one though. Sounds cool to have it portable.
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty cool.
But I've already seen comments about, oh, it doesn't look good in 3D, something, 16.
I never played Secret of Mana, but I did play Sword of Mana a ton on the Game Boy.
I played one of the Mana games on the PS1. I really enjoyed that one though. Can't remember the name though. Yeah.
Had a good system.
Yeah. Last thing that I was interested about from Gamescom is a game called Biomutant.
I didn't hear that one.
It is by which company is this? Oh fuck. I can't remember the name of
Oh,
the
that
company.
looks cool.
So
Are
you
those
play
two aliens having sex, or is it two heads? Oh, it's two.
you play a furry. And
Yeah, the furry looks cool though. It's got an eye patch.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
it's a open world post-apocalyptic action RPG. Just take a bunch of genres and shove them all together, basically.
All right.
It has character progression. You can create your own character, and like it has guns and stuff like that. Oh, it also has kung fu. Totally forgot about that. It's
Nah,
an
that
open
sounds
world
fantastic.
post-apocalyptic action RPG with kung fu.
Okay.
It's
Where you
by
play
Nordic
for-
Games.
Nordic Games. Ah, yes.
They did like Alan Wake,
Darksiders, yeah.
Ori and the Blind Forest,
Wait, did you?
Ethan Carter.
So THQ, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
They did Vermintide, so they're not all good. But
Did they?
THQ's kind of hit or miss in general.
oh, hey, so I think I said this before. There is a game called The Dwarves, which I think Shar even mentioned to me because I like dwarves so much. This game looks like a good game, but it's based on a book, which is a horrible book. But at Gen Con, I played a board game based on this book. So I don't understand why this book is so popular. Books don't get board games and video games left and right. Like, why is this book so beloved that apparently it gets these reimaginings? Because I almost didn't finish it. It's so poorly written.
Did you play
I don't get it.
Did you play it though?
I haven't played the video game. I played
Did
the
you
board
play
game.
the board game?
I did.
Was it good?
It was okay. It's so. Have you ever played Pandemic?
Yes.
It's like a okay.
Yes.
It's a purely cooperative game, and it's very hard. So like we were playing, to save the kingdom from an invasion of trolls, elves, and goblins, and the mechanic behind that system is very, very cool. I think that's very smart and unique. But we lost, and then we found out we were playing on easy mode, and the normal game goes on, or like ends like 4 turns earlier or something like that. It's like, jeez! Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Pure cooperative games are very hard to make good.
The ones I've played I've really liked, but I haven't played many. So, like, Pandemic is a pretty classic one. I really like that one. I also love Arkham Horror.
The problem... I haven't played... Arkham Horror is good, yeah. Actually,
yeah.
I played that. But the problem I have with Pandemic is it frequently has a quarterbacking problem, where one player tells everybody else what to do.
Oh, yeah. That can be very true. I have found in the group that I play with it religiously, we do pretty good job of working together. The only person that kind of gets left behind is like my mother tends to play, and she doesn't want to make the wrong decision. But we all very much otherwise kind of work together because. But yeah, I definitely, that is very, very true, especially if you have certain character builds that are kind of like, well, I'm going to choose to move you now because you need to be here. You're like, but we didn't talk about this. So yeah, no, I totally understand that. That's cool.
I'm actually super excited about
Dark Souls
Biomutant.
game. Is it a Dark Souls game?
What'd you say?
I don't think so.
Is it Biomutant a Dark Souls like?
It's not. So it's probably going to be like super easy or something.
Yeah,
but you can dodge.
Dodge. Oh no.
But I do your character.
But
Gender,
I think the premise
length,
is really interesting.
Thickness. This is the list of things you can customize, and just in that order. Doesn't say length or thickness of what. I assume fur, but fur's the next thing in the list, so it's not fur. Is it your body? It's not fangs, because that's the next thing in the list. Oh, many other attributes. A thicker player is heavier, which makes it slower, but you can deal more damage and resist more damage.
Oh my.
It's actually kind of cool that your character customization appearce
actually affects things. Yeah.
It's like,
that's really funny.
I think I'm most excited for Biomutant now.
I actually didn't follow Gamescom that closely, but this game looks really cool.
Yeah. Like Hellblade came out and it's pretty good. Okay, that came out. Agent of Mayhem came out and like people was like, it's okay. But now Biomutant is the next one.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that.
This looks kind of like, I don't know why, but it means the raccoon. Like it's like Jack and Daxter, like post-apocalyptic grit.
Yeah.
That's cool. But I wonder though, like what kind of narrative it will have, because usually a lot of games that are these kind of third-person action RPG kind of games, they don't really let you create your own character. So I'm just wondering, is it going to be sandboxy? Or is it...
It says branching storylines with decisions that decide how the story continues.
Yeah, they
Probably
always
not
say that.
actually going to be that branchy, yeah.
They always say that.
Looks super cool though.
Yeah.
It looks super cool.
It's cool.
You can ally with a tribe and eliminate other tribes, so it might be kind of sandboxy.
Nice.
I don't know.
And you also unlock fast travel by peeing on posts.
Oh Jesus! Why?
Because you're a furry.
What's the rating of this game?
You're an animal.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this. I'm just kidding.
Oh, the developers were Experiment 101. I don't know who that is.
It's
probably like devs from like the different THQ studios or something. Yeah.
They just went wild, and they probably have had this idea for years, and they finally had a chance to do it.
We want to play furries and pee on shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are the rejected ideas at
and they just took everything and put it in.
As long as I can be unarmed. So Biomutant has a Steam page. I can't add to my wish list. Sure, do that.
Wish list, yeah.
And follow.
Speaking of Steam, I never played this game, but Brink, an old shooter game by Bethesda, is free to play in Steam right now. So. If you're interested,
forever.
Yeah,
right?
Forever. Yeah, from what I can tell, free to play on Steam forever. So pick that up if you want.
Is it multiplayer? I don't remember.
I don't. Unfortunately, I have no idea. I never really played Brink, so I don't know.
It looks like a decent shooter.
Yeah, wasn't super popular, but cool. Some people. Apparently, it's pretty fun. So might be something fun to do.
This looks like... So I'm still looking at Biomutant. Now it's like if Redwall was set in Destiny or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
What's Redwall?
With furries.
Redwall, it's... They're kind of like young adult books where all the characters are animals.
Yeah.
Does the guy have like a mine on a chain as a weapon?
Yeah.
Like a naval mine? Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
jeez.
That was like one of the I think it was one of the first gameplay trailers. It showed you fighting one of those things.
So cool.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. I'm quite excited for this game.
Guess we'll see what
There's
happens.
no way it can live up to how cool it looks.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
There's no way.
That's a problem, yeah. One last thing from me. There's this new game called Darkwood. It's a isometric action RPG horror thing.
Okay.
Or something. And it's like apparently pretty good as well. A lot of people like it. The newsworthy thing about it is, so it just came out like July 17th, so it's pretty new. They actually uploaded the game onto Pirate Bay for you guys to play.
Right, that's why I heard about them.
Yeah, they were like saying they have a long description about why they did it on the Pirate Bay page, saying like if you play the game and you like it, please support us by buying it during a sale or something. Please don't buy this game from key resellers like not GOG, G2A.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hey.
So they just
All right, cool.
So they just went and put it on Pirate Bay for people to play. That's pretty cool. It's
Wow.
not the first
Free
one to
demo.
do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, cool. Cool for them. Hope it works for them.
Yeah. That's all from me. Nothing else.
I don't really have anything else interesting.
Oh yeah, KFC VR.
Yeah, KFC.
I have a story that I don't really care about, but I feel is big enough we should mention it.
Oh, okay.
H3 won their lawsuit.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I wonder how much it cost them in the end.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I didn't actually follow up on it.
Well, they did have that fundraiser for it, so I think they were okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I mean, they
about
had
that,
a fundraiser, and part of the fundraiser was actually to make a pool of money for YouTubers to access for legal fees for these kinds of things. So it was
interesting.
Yeah, that was part of the thing. Is they had a big like Kickstarter. I don't know if it was Kickstarter or what, or a GoFundMe or whatever. But part of it was to pay for the legal fees, and then of course they got extra. So anything extra was going to be put in a pool. I don't know how they're going to regulate it, but that was the idea for like future, YouTubers that come across these issues, so that, because often YouTubers can't afford a lawyer, depending on how famous they are, right? The tiers. And so it's a pool for them to kind of access to be able to get legal help and stuff like that. So cool. That's good. I'm happy for them.
Yeah. So
I don't know. The only other thing I really saw is not... I'll mention it because nothing else. Mercy's getting a massive change in Overwatch. Because her ult used to be like a party-wide heal.
Right.
And now it's like a regular move with a cooldown. A single target res.
Oh.
Yeah, I heard something was different. But I also heard
and her ult makes her go berserk.
Yeah. I also heard they're already going to be changing, though. I don't know. That was just one rumor I heard. I don't know if it's actually true.
Changing what?
Like that they're gonna go back, or I don't know. They think it's gonna be too overpowered or something. I don't know. That was just a rumor I heard. So that could be false.
I can definitely see that being a problem, but I do think they are at least addressing problems with Mercy.
Yeah,
where, like her ult incentivizes her to stay out of team fights,
right?
Which is not fun. Like it's just
Well, it's just not a fun.
Whether or not it's good or not, it's just not fun gameplay. Yeah.
Nope, it's not. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have anything else on my end.
But seriously, like, just wondering, how do you feel when like a character like Aquaman gets played by Jason Momoa? Like he's Hawaiian, right?
Yes. Something he's I think.
And Aquaman is like he's a fish guy, but he's clearly white.
White blonde hair.
Yeah, he's a fucking Aryan, right? He's like clearly white, blue eyes and shit.
Yeah.
Very.
So it's like, how do you feel about that? Is it just because historical context also obviously kind of plays a part in it?
Yeah,
maybe.
Are you talking about like compared to like whitewashing or something like that?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand the difficulty. I personally look at back as far as like kind of like a white privilege standpoint, where it's like, it doesn't bother me with I guess if you're asking if
because you guys already have a lot of representation, is what?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, yeah, exactly. We have a lot of representation. So
just wondering how to quantify that and where's the line.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering
it is hard, and I think that is kind of a difficult thing to do. But I think in this case, especially if it's like a white person, I think that's an automatic kind of like, that's okay. Like, I don't feel, I'm not particularly upset by it as a white person. It doesn't really, I don't feel like I'm losing out on something. You know what I mean? While it might be different for Asian Americans,
Asian
especially.
Americans.
Yeah, that's especially kind of a different thing. Where for
because
that,
it's okay to be racist to them, right? It's totally
right,
okay.
exactly. Well, I mean, but like, yes. When it comes to like oppression, oh gosh, now I'm using social worker terms, like with black people versus or African American versus Asian American, there's racism both there, and it's just kind of dealt with differently. And so there is something to be said about like it's like almost okay to be racist against
I do
Asian
notice
American.
that the whitewashing thing is mostly Asian Americans. It's like Asian characters, or
and
whenever it's news, it's always an Asian American thing. I do notice that.
That's
at least
true.
recently.
Like I
think
didn't
it's
really hear
recently
this with Dark Tower as much.
Yeah, I think it's very
what-
Or even
recent.
Death Note,
I
because a white
I don't
character
know
was cast
anything
by
about
the
Dark
black
Tower.
actor.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And ditto for Death Note, a Japanese character is cast by a black guy,
yeah.
played by a black guy.
I think it's because it's more.
It's almost
recently.
okay because you're colored.
Yeah,
almost okay.
To me, it's like I don't know how to bridge that gap. I have, from what I known, I think it's partially just because it's become more known it's become more public, I think, in general with Asian American especially. I'm not sure if it's to say that like it's now become a problem or it's just as much as there's now become a platform to talk about it. I don't know. I definitely don't think it's a black and white situation, and don't even just mean that as racial black and white. I mean as a simple dichotomy kind of thing. I don't know. But there is, to me, something very different feeling I get from Jason Momoa is playing Aquaman versus a white man is cast in a role that's an Asian American role kind of thing. There's a different feeling I get.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing.
Yeah, it's
Somebody said they should have casted what's his name? He played Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat. That Japanese American guy.
I don't know his name.
I'll remember it when you say it.
Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa. I don't think.
I was wrong.
God damn it! He's like a super veteran actor.
Yeah.
He plays a lot of shit.
And one thing that
he was
also,
Kubo.
yeah.
He was in Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh,
nice.
Cool.
He played Hashi.
Okay.
Was that movie whitewashing? Because two of the main characters
I
are
guess.
voiced by white people.
Maybe
Yeah,
it doesn't come
that's-
because it's just voices. I don't know.
Yeah, it's another fair thing to ask. I think another thing I want to point out with the whole Asian American thing too, is that for a very long time, I mean, we've kind of talked about that there is a very difference between, I hate to use Asian as a broad term, but I have no other way of saying it. Someone who lives from one of the several countries that we call Asia, and Asian American. It's two pretty different cultures in essence. And Asian American has always in the United States is treated very much like Asian stereotypes, even though these are people that have come from Asian descent and have a different culture kind of thing that they don't really identify
Oh, yeah.
with. So it's like
People in Asia don't think Asian Americans are real Asians. I'm telling you.
yeah.
I'm telling you guys this right now.
Yeah,
They're not real
like,
Asians.
right. And so
If you eat a testicle, then you're a real Asian, okay? No testicles, no Asian, huh?
but they're Asian American and the United States are treated very much like under Asian stereotypes, and so I
Which
think
is weird. To
yes.
us, you guys are just Americans.
Yeah, but I understand, and so I think that's where the weirdness comes in, and that's why
It's like you're segregating yourself almost.
yeah, exactly. So like that's kind of the reason why I think you're hearing more about this now is these are people that are coming up and being like, okay, listen, you were
We had
treating
enough.
us. Yeah, we've had enough kind of thing. Stop, you're not casting us in roles that we think that we could play basically because you're like, no, a white person can do this. It's fine. That's when it comes to, of course, in the example of Death Note, when it's a black person who's instead cast, I'm still like, oh, I still need to figure that out because even I don't know what to think.
I think it would have been better if they changed the name at least.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah. Maybe.
Instead of just I don't know. Instead
don't
of
know.
putting tape on his eyes. I don't know.
Yeah.
There was some. I remember there being some disgruntlement with Cloud Atlas when they did that.
Cloud Atlas. Oh, that's the Tom Hanks movie, right?
He is in it. He's not like
the main
necessarily
guy.
the main character.
Because
It's not really a main character. There's too many main characters. Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, so it basically a crux of the movie is a bunch of actors are playing multiple characters throughout time and space, and so one of those time spaces is like future Neo Tokyo
Seoul.
or Neo Hong Kong or Neo Seoul. Thank you.
Yeah, so yeah.
All those agencies are the same, right? No.
Never
so
tell
they-
a Korean
You
the
won't
same
be-
as a Japanese.
You
Never.
won't be the first person to say that.
Oh, I'm sad now.
I'm
But yeah,
sad
they
as
do. So in that setting, they do something. I'm not sure if it's a practical effect or a CGI effect with their eyes to make them look.
Oh my
Asian.
god.
Oh, so you mean like some of the white actors played like the Asian characters?
Oh,
Yes.
come on.
But
guys.
was it like a
Be-
I'm a cyborg but internally Asian kind of thing? Or like no, seriously,
No.
it's not the eyes Asian.
It's because of the idea is like the way I interpreted it is it's these people being
it's one of those
reincarnated.
movies. Right,
They're being
right.
reincarnated. So in this time and place, this is their like Asian
This
aspect.
their
I
life,
guess.
right?
I don't know.
It's one of those movies where everybody's got a different idea about it, right? Is it Christopher Nolan?
Probably.
No,
Maybe.
it's not. It's the Wachowski sisters.
Of course. There are sisters now.
They are
It was
sisters.
brothers, then it was siblings, and now it's sisters.
Yep. The sisters now, right?
I think you're right.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
right,
you're
right?
right. Oh, that's
Okay.
yes, they are. Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, sisters. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cloud Atlas is one of the movie that I really want to watch though.
It's up on Netflix now.
They made 2 million more than their budget, so it wasn't
Jeez.
a huge.
Oh, I knew it was really unpopular because it's kind of pretentiously artsy. Like when I saw it in theaters and people were walking out.
Oh
It's
wow.
kind of like it's a little hard to. I like it though. I think it's a good movie.
So it was trying to be big budget at the same time pretentious.
A little bit. I haven't read the book, so I don't know how it.
Oh, it's
compares
based
to
on a
that.
book.
Yes.
Joys of joys.
There's Hugo Weaving in it. I'll watch that.
Hugo Weaving is fantastic. It's got,
And there's fucking Saints Row 4
so
Keith
many
David.
Good people. Keith David's
Saints
a little
Row
bit in it.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Yeah, they're both really awesome.
I didn't know Keith David was in Planescape Torment. What the fuck? He's
I
in
didn't know
the
that.
original Fallout? He's
That's
in Halo
amazing.
2? Okay, so this guy is... I just know him from Saints Row, that's all. I didn't know he was
What?
in like fucking Fallout.
You should
and, like,
know him
Planescape
from
Torment.
Spawn.
No,
He
I
voiced
mean...
the cartoons.
I don't mean just by video games, I mean. Just video games.
I see.
Okay, and
Yeah, that's
Mass
true.
Effect,
I
and Mass
that's
Effect,
true.
David Anderson.
I didn't know he's in Mass Effect.
Yeah, he was the black guy. Not the black guy. Like the big
Wait,
general
which
dude.
Mass Effect?
The
One?
first one, yeah.
I don't remember the black guy. It's been so long
Are you
since
talking
Mass
about
Effect one.
Anderson?
Is he one of the crew
David
of
Anderson,
the
the
Normandy?
guy,
Yeah,
the commander guy.
Anderson.
He's like in the all the Mass Effects.
Yeah, David Anderson.
The black guy.
He's the captain that you take over. He's in the very
Yeah.
beginning of the game. Anyway, yeah. He's
That's why I wouldn't remember then, I guess, because
It's-
the beginning. This is the farthest in the past.
That makes sense. No, but he's the captain before you take over as captain. That's the whole thing.
He's not one of your party, though.
He's
No,
never
right?
in your party. No.
No.
But he's cool. He's a
But
military
I do
guy.
notice like a lot of like high-ranking military officers. They like to use black guys. Is there a reason for that?
Probably a
Like
voice
like
thing,
a lot
I think.
in a lot of media, like video games.
They can sound
and, like,
gruff.
I guess so. They sound
Probably, yeah.
like eat your baby or something. I don't know.
It's either it's either a black guy or it's Tommy Lee Jones. Those are your two options.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. That's all, right?
Yeah,
That's
that's
all,
all I
folks.
got.
Yeah. So let's do the thing that we always do at the end of the thing. Sarah, you go first.
I already
Because you
know I'm
always
going
go first. Yeah.
I always go first because y'all just copy off of me. Jeez. You can find me under Sarahscopic, Sarahscopic. I'm on YouTube. I'm also on Facebook and on Twitter. I'm technically on Twitch, but I'm not really always there on Twitch. So yeah, hit me up and say hi. I'll probably say hi back. I usually do.
And I'm Foehamner, Foehamner, also YouTube. I also do this podcast called playonultra. You can check it out at some other place.
You gotta wait for the next guy.
Yeah. But yeah, YouTube's the place to be.
Pupunoob, Pupunoob, playonultra, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, stuff like that. Oh, so I'm looking at like a Bloodborne limited edition letter opener. And it looks really cool.
Ooh, that sounds cool. They had the Dark Souls board game at Gen Con, and the miniatures were pretty exquisite.
Ooh,
yes, my brother has the Dark Souls board game.
Why didn't you buy any?
Well, I think it's a board game. I don't think you can buy. I don't know if you can buy the miniatures separately.
It is a board game because it's literally in my brother's closet right now.
Not like a collector. That's not like Warhammer where you buy miniatures.
It's not.
You buy a box.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a board. Yeah, exactly.
There was a pretty good Mimic cosplay at Gen Con.
That's pretty cool.
Mimic cosplay from Prey?
From Dark Souls.
Dark Souls.
Like the treasure chest head with the tongue and the teeth.
Right. So like a mimic from like basically every game.
yeah, a mimic.
Basically, right?
Yep. There's a lot more cosplay than I thought. A lot more random cosplay too. Like there were 4 Judge Dreads, just like
what the fuck?
Like just
okay.
Rando cosplays at Gen Con.
It's a pretty cool cosplay though. I
really
really like
cool
costumes.
Cosplay.
I really like the Judge Dredd costume. It's very
a lot of Banes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Judge Dredd's got a real cool costume.
Yep. So yeah, that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, listening. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.
I will. Bye.
Bye.